And they're off and running, and Tiscatorial easily won the start with Democrat. They vie for early supremacy. Tali Man up on the outside, followed by Zamigo, who's nice and close. Carry the Stars on the inside, followed by Down to Zero in the middle. A length and a half away, 2 Fact or Fiction, followed by Ultimate Power. Hagman settles second last, and 2 lengths away last of all was Nice and Fancy. Out of the straight towards the 200, and Democrat taken to the front now by Marshall. Leads by a length and a half over Tali Man second. A length away third with Tiscatorial on the inside, followed by Zamigo, who settles well. Down to Zero on the outside, just shading Carry the Star on the fence, and a further 2 lengths away. 2 Fact or Fiction on the outside, followed by Hagman. 3 to Ultimate Power second last, and 2.5 lengths away last of all was still Nice and Fancy. Towards the back crossing at the 1600, and still no change. It's Democrat in front. It's only a leisurely speed in the lead. Democrat now joined by Tali Man. There's only a half length between them. 2.5 away third was Tiscatorial travelling on the inside, followed by Zamigo, who's been given every conceivable chance. Carry the Stars on the inside, followed around it by Down to Zero, and 2 further back to Fact or Fiction, just shading Hagman on its inside. About 3 further back to Ultimate Power, and 2.5 lengths last of all was still Nice and Fancy. Inside the 1200, no real change. Democrats in front, has been there from the outset. Leads to the top turn by about a half length over Tali Man second. A length and a half away third was Tiscatorial, now being shaded by Zamigo as it works up on the outside of it. About 2 further back to Carry the Star, followed by Down to Zero. On the outside, Fact or Fiction around Hagman, followed by Ultimate Power, who's a fair way off them. And 4 lengths last of all was Nice and Fancy. 800 out, Tali Man race to the front from Democrat, who's given up the ghost. Zamigo moves to second quickly. A length and a half away third was Tiscatorial. Around it was Carry the Star, followed by Hagman, who's making ground on the outside. Down to Zero's around it, but under pressure, and 2 further back to Fact or Fiction towards the rear of the field as they straighten up for the run of the judge. 400 out, it's Tali Man in front. Leads by a length and a half over Zamigo, who's under the whip but responding. A length and a half away third, Tiscatorial, followed by Carry the Star, Down to Zero and Hagman. But Tali Man gets away at the 200, and Tali Man is racing 4-5 lengths in front of Carry the Star. Tiscatorial, Zamigo can do no better. Oh, what a win, Tali Man. Boss keeps its mind on the job, and Tali Man is racing well clear. Down to Zero and Carry the Star battle out the minors, but a hollow win to Tali Man, wins by about 6. Down to Zero second, third Carry the Star, followed by Tiscatorial, Ultimate Power from Hagman. Zamigo gave up after a perfect run in transit, followed by Nice and Fancy and Fact or Fiction, and knocking up last of all was Democrat.
Super Tab number 12, Tali Man, $5, $1.79. Down to Zero to pay $5.50. 7 Carry the Star, $2.80. Treble on the numbers 3, 4, 12 to return $94.20.
Tali Man, number 12 first. That's been a big win. And gee, Zamigo, every chance Shane Dye. And it was one of the first horses beaten at about the 300. Time of 2:37.03, 2:37.03, which is outside the 2:29.4 class record held by Just for Tristram, on a track that looks uniformly slow. It's on the better side of heavy and looks pretty uniform. They're coming home. We saw Sky Sight in the previous event from a fair way back. We've seen them win.
Now they're very close at Moonee Valley. Let's take it to Johnny. In fact, they've just jumped for the Gillies famous Pies Flying.
And also Del Sol began smartly in Grand Bay, going up on the outside, sorting themselves out. Ice Vintage on the inside and Fragment together. They show out by a length to I Love Kiev on the inside of Grand Bay, being followed by Royal Rubiton. A bit further back then to Game Lad, followed by Del Sol, and going around them out wide on the track, Stately Bay. They're followed by Mellis Super Finish. A length and a half go with the flow on the inside of Diamond Tipped, and well back to Southridge and Source of Divorce as they race down the side. Fragment on the outside, Ice Finish together. About to be joined by Grand Bay, looming up quickly, and just in behind them, Stately Bay. Royal Rubiton over on the inside, being followed by I Love Kiev. Game Ladders on the inside. Del Sol is wide, followed by Malice. Go with a flow. Super Finish a long way back. Source of Divorce and Southridge up towards the home turn. Fragment the leader. About a head in advance of Grand Bay, challenging a length further back. Stately Bay, Del Sol. Then I Love Kiev. Royal Rubiton is struggling. Ice Vintage has dropped out of it as they make the home turn. Grand Bay is making a race of it with Fragment as they straighten up. Grand Bay about a half length to Fragment, turning for home, and settling down for the run in. Stately Bay down the outside. Del Sol running on well, but Grand Bay is the leader. Del Sol coming after Grand Bay in the final stages. Grand Bay is still the leader, holding Del Sol, and Grand Bay is going to win it. Grand Bay wins by a length to Del Sol. Stately Bay's run third, close up fourth Fragment. I Love Kiev, Malice behind them. Game Lad, Diamond Tip go with the flow. Southridge, Super Finish, Royal Rubiton, Ice Vintage second last, and last to finish in the event is Source of Divorce. Grand Bay, much improved galloper. Won two of his last three, $15.30 and $4.40. And Tony Noonan, his trainer, has a good one to come in the next event. One we're all looking forward to seeing here in town, and that's Show No Emotion, who won brilliantly at Seymour. And here Tony has produced Grand Bay for his win in the Gillies Famous Pies handicap, number 3, Grand Bay, ridden by Nash Ruilla, pays $15.30 and $4.40, defeating number 2, Del Sol, ridden by Greg Hall, and a third placing to number 6, which is Stately Bay, covered a lot of extra ground in running, ridden by Matthew Ellen in the 5th of the day here.
Racing. Greenbacks began pretty well, raced a half length in front from Jebu, the favourite, who began sweetly and bobbed a length and a half in front. Brave Prince to second. Let's Explode on the outside, followed by Greenbacks, and also there was Country Sound. Two further back to Euro Dancer, followed by Defender. A gap of a length and a half away. Two Dashing Express second last, and back at the rear of the field was Sun and Air. Inside the 800-metre mark and racing to the lead was Let's Explode. Leads by a length over second, Jebu on the outside. Third out wide was Greenbacks, followed by Country Sound, and also there was Lothar. Defenders out wide. Euro Dancer, Sun and Air getting up along the inside, followed by Brave Prince, and back at the rear of the field was Dashing Express. Around the home turn, 450 out. On the outside was Let's Explode, and on the inside was Jebu. Sun and Air is tracking Jebu along, followed by Euro Dancer looking for the run, and Country Sound hooking wide but under pressure, followed by Brave Prince, but inside the 200, and Beedman said, let's go on Jebu, and the horse responds. Jebu raced a length in front over Sun and Air, who's a quick second, is up challenging Euro Dancer for third from Brave Prince. It's Jebu in front. Sun and Air is grinding away, but Jebu just in front. Sun and Air lunges very close. Jebu or Sun and Air could go either way. Third was Euro Dancer, followed by Brave Prince, and also there was Dashing Express, followed by Country Sound from Let's Explode. Defender didn't run on from Lothar, and last of all was Greenbacks. Photo finish. Jebu was on the inside, but Sun and Air just grinded away on the outer, and the judge has called for the photo.
Okay, if 1 Jebu gets it, 261.50 on Super Tab. 8 Sun and Air, 12.90, 280, with 11 Euro Dancer for third, 670.
When they've gone to the line locked together, and in the run to the judge, well, gee, this is so close to a dead heat, it's not funny. The slow-mo shot does favour Jebu, but it tends to do that. The ground shot does tend to favour the inside. From the top, 1 Jebu, 270 and 160, or 8 Sun and Air at around $15 the win and $2.90 for the place. Looking at the longer shot, Jebu was just in front. Sun and Air on the outside. They've gone to the line heads up, heads down. It is very, very close. Really, it's too close to call. Time 1:13.64. 1:13.64, which is outside John's Heroes class record of 19.7. Jebu has the head down on the line, but a photo finish will have the result shortly after race 5.
The other one, of course, Jebu now, race 5 at Morphettville. My Bodyguard at 660.
Racing, he got it away okay. City Hall down on the inside. Star Grazer not well served, dropped out to the back with Star Delphitis. Favourite Show No Emotion away running and landed a length and a half in front of City Hall, Manhattan Von. Dan Day from the outside from Rouge Fur, and further back in the race when they settle down Regala. When they come to that first turn, Show No Emotion down on the rail in front. Led a half length now to Dan Day, 2 to Manhattan Von. City Hall is running fourth, a length for the back Regala. Then on the outside, all systems go from Rouge Fur. Further back then Bowl Play. Over on the inside, Rich Glen Ruler from Shows On, 2 or 3 Showery. A length further back, Star Grazer, and 3 last of all, Star Delphinis. Show No Emotion, 5.50 to go. Straight away, 3 lengths, Dan Day, hard at it from Manhattan Von. A length further back, Regala, followed by City Hall. These are all off the bit, chasing this leader. then Rouge Fur, followed by Bowl Play, and further back then Showery, and Shows On, but Show No Emotion up to the bend on his own at the moment, out 4 or 5 lengths. Manhattan Von to second, from Regala further back than Rouge Fur, but around the turn. Oh, this might be a star in the making, this bloke. Show No Emotion has put 6 or 7 on them. From the outside, running home into second placing now is Showery from Regala, but this is going to win in a hand canter. Show No Emotion, he eases it to the line, and Show No Emotion wins about 7. Stal Delphinus has come from nowhere to run second. Third home in the race is Showery, good run that second horse. Then Regala dropped out to run fourth. A Gap Rouge Fur followed by Shows On, Manhattan Von, then came Star Grazer, Dan Day, further back in the race Bowl Play, a long gap to All Systems Go, Rich Glen Ruler, and near the tail is City Hall.
Winner there, number 9, Show No Emotion, 190 and 140. Second, number 14, Star Delphinus to pay 11.40, and 3, Showery to pay 6.50.
9, Show No Emotion, 190, 130. Number 14, Star Delphinius to return 9.10, and 3 for third, Showery, $6.20. Brisbane, time to take a look at the market there.
Racing, a good line away, Twilight Hour back at the rear soon after the start, and winning the break was Warning Bell on the inside, raced a neck in front from Clearfield last second. The Essence trapped wide third, a length and a half to Bell Maria, followed by Bravo Zulu, Scenic Star from Kathy's Joy, and a gap of 2 to the favourite Hard Ruler, followed by Knock Nashi. Next to last was Balustrade, and the length last of all was Twilight Hour. Inside the 1200, it's Warning Bell in charge, leads by a length and a half. It is running them on too. Second placing as they moved down the side of the track was the Essence, about 5 lengths away. Third was Clearfield Lass at a length to Bell Maria, followed by Bravo Zulu around Scenic Star, 2 to Kathy's Joy, followed by Hard Ruler on the inside. A length and a half to Knock Nashi, followed second last by Twilight Hour, and last of all was Balustrade inside the 800, and it's Warning Bell in front. Bobby Lesser is making every post a winner, leads by about 5 or 6 lengths over second. The Essence 2.5 away. Third was Clearfield Lass, followed by Bell Maria, who's working up on the outside with Bravo Zulu from Hard Ruler under some pressure. Scenic Star behind those, followed by Kathy's Joy, Twilight Hour, Knock Nashi second last, and last of all was Balustrade. But around the home turn, the question, can Warning Bell keep going? Leads by about 3 lengths. Hard Ruler now is a clear second. It is challenging the leader. 4 away third, Bell Maria, followed by Clearfield Lass, running on okay. And on the outside of runners, Bravo Zulu, but inside the 200, and Warning Bell claimed by the favourite Hard Ruler, who dashed away. Hard Ruler raced 2-3 in front of Warning Bell, Bravo Zulu, and Twilight Hours working home well, but a very easy win to Hard Ruler. Hard Ruler by 4 lengths, Warning Bell second, Twilight Hour third, in front of Bravo Zulu, followed by Kathy's Joy, Clearfield Lass, Bell Maria, Scenic Star from the Essence, and back at the rear of the field, Knock Nashi, and last of all was Balustrade.
Super Tab number 6, Hard Ruler, 230, 130, 11 Warning Bell, 360, 8 Twilight Hour, 570, Daily Double, 12 and 6, $12. 230, 140 in New South for the winner. Second, 370, third, 660.
6, 11 and 8 in front of 9 Bravo Zulu. So 6, 11 and 8, the official placings after the 6th event. And Hard Ruler was a fair way back and niggled at by Beatman at around the 600 metres, but the 4-year-old responded beautifully, the mare. And Hard Ruler, when a few of them went wide, and really, as we mentioned earlier in the day, it's a fairly uniform surface here, so you can win at all parts of the track. So obviously the inside is the cheapest way home, and Hard Ruler just stayed towards the inside, and when Warning Bell was getting a little bit tired, Hard Ruler went right past it and has raced away for a good win.
Need the book. 13, 10, 7.
Racing Melbourne.
Bounced straight to the front, and the musician went straight back to the tail when they settled into stride. Away fast here is Dancing Sculptor, Jiminy is handy, and further out Pearl Prince and Killat Cuter is going forward with Plushka. Ben's Rocket is out very deep. Down to that first turn they go. Dancing Sculptor up on the outside. Over on the fence is Golden Serpent. 1.5 further back Pearl Prince. Jiminy up fourth, and they're followed by Killat Cuter. Ben's Rocket around it from port side. Savannah War. Plushka 3 out, 2 lengths further back. Happy Star has drifted back inside. Simple Move from Silver Neon. 2 further back, Sky Talon. 3 to Inter Musician. Down the back, 1,000 to go. Up on the outside here, and it's Dancing Sculptor on the fence, Golden Serpent. Pearl Prince is 3 out. They're followed just behind them by Jiminy. It's fourth, right on these the leaders at the moment from Ben's Rocket, who's 5th deep around Killat Cuter. 1.5 further back, port side. Very deep there on the outside of those. Then came Silver Neon. Plushka followed further back by Savannah War. Happy Star's got 3 only behind it. In Musician winding up from Simple Move. And last of all, Skytel, 600 to go. Pearl Prince very deep. And Jiminy, they've raced to the front. They've got 3 lengths in front of Dancing Sculptor, Killat Cuter. Let's have a look for Happy Star. It's back third last and not in the race at the moment. Pearl Prince dashed to the front of the 400 from Jiminy. 2 to port side, Silver Neon for the back, Killat Cuter. Happy Star getting up on the inside, starting to run on now. Pearl Prince 2 in front from Jiminy turning. 3 further back. Happy Star is getting home on the fence from port side. In the straight, Pearl Prince 2 in front of Jiminy and port side. Then further back came Ben's Rocket. Happy Star weakening from Killat Cuter, but Pearl Prince is holding Jiminy at bay, and Pearl Prince wins 2 lengths Jiminy. Port side third. Then on the outside, getting up to run fourth, is Skytel from Inner Musician. Further back in the race, Ben's Rocket. Happy Star Don and his run from Plushka. Then Killat Cuter from Simple Move. Well back, Silver Neon, Golden Serpent, Savannah War. And last of all is Dancing Sculptor.
Winner there, number 3, Pearl Prince, 9 even, 270. 6, Germati to pay 190, and third to 10, Portside. It's showing at $5.80.
3 Pearl Prince, 8.30 and 2.50. Number 6, Jimity to return $2.10, and 10 for third, Portside, $5.40, with that daily double on a pair of 3s to return $79.50 in.
They're racing. Count the Steps began well with Misty Jude and Boutique Dancer. Boutique Dancer takes the lead from Hot as Hell and also Sukram. Count the Steps followed by Misty Jude. Investigation boring up, likewise Buraton. A length further back to Just Dapper, followed by Power Factor. On the outside is Count the Steps, who's losing ground, followed by Pimpala Prince. 2 further back there was Targith, who's on the inside, followed by Flapper. Sukram's dropped back towards the rear of the field, and the last one's a Count Remy, and back right at the rear of the field now, Fantasia. Towards the home turn, 600 out. Buraton moves up on the inside of the grey Misty Jude. Investigation camped off the speed, followed by Power Factor, Boutique Dancer, Pimpala Prince on the outside from Target, and also Just Dapper. Now Fantasia getting the run up along the inside from Count Remy and also Flapper. Inside the 200, Buraton race to the front. Power Factor to second. Third on the outside of runners was Pimpala Prince, who's working home well, but it's Buraton in front. A 2-horse race. Buraton holding Power Factor clear from Flapper on the outside, and Buraton's too good. Buraton by a length over second, Power Factor. Third was Flapper on the outside from Pimpala Prince and also Count Remy. Behind those, Investigation, who didn't run on. From Count the Steps, Boutique Dancer, Sukram, followed by Just Dapper. Target third last, Hot as Hell second last, and back at the rear of the field was Misty Jude.
Super Tab, number 2, Buraton, 6.30, 2.40. Second to 14, Power Factor, 5.20. 11, Flapper, 8.30.
Flapper third at $8 even. 2.14 and 11. Investigation was camped off the speed, but when Andrew Gibbons popped the horse, the question, there wasn't much left in its tank. And Buraton giving Darren Beedman 2.5 wins for the day. A dead heat earlier, and so 2.5 wins to D. Beedman. And Buraton with Power Factor, who was working home particularly well, but Buraton had enough in hand to hold Power Factor, and Flapper right down the outside for third. Buraton's a 3-year-old brown colt, Rubiton Penny Rowe, owned by TW and Mrs. D. Wallace, PM, and Mrs. C. Perry, PL, and Mrs. J. Priestley, trained by Paul Perry and ridden by Darren Beedman. 14, Power Factor second. 3-year-old Bayo Brown Gelding, Covetous Gypsy Alert, Jack Denham, Chris Munns, and 11, third Flapper Cameron Swan, a 3-year-old Bay filly. Sanction by Danglaze, Max Lees, Broadmeadow, Cameron Swan. 2.14.11, fourth to number 5, Pimpala Prince, and officially fifth to 10, Count Remy.
A good line too. First out here on the inside, Solid Wood away quickly on the outside of it. Checkmore with Boursier, and further out here making some ground early is Bento. They're followed by Dr. Livingston back on the inside. Malvern from Cotton on Flyer. Federal Agent further back, Arrogant Prince. Unfettered dipped and lost ground there. 2 lengths to Birra, 2 or 3 Mountain Rivers, and last of all is Entrepreneur. Off the turn at the 850 metre mark now. Checkmore outside, Solid Wood, and Diamond Duke has gone up third on the outside. Bento is up on the outside running fourth, but deep. Dr. Livingston back in the centre. Malvern the fence. pulling out deep. Cotton on Flyer. Unfettered is very wide around Federal Agent. 2 of 3. Bera Boursier dropping out from Arrogant Prince, Mountain Rivers, and 4 last of all Entrepreneur. Bento the Tasmanian's been spec'd at odds out deep on the track at the front from Checkmore. Cotton on Flyer running on. Diamond Duke back in the centre, further back Federal Agent, then Dr. Livingston. 2 or 3 further back Unfettered when they turn for home. Solid Woods dropped out. Bento out deep, about a half in front of Checkmore, and Cotton on Flyer with the lightweight coming home well. Around the turn, hitting the front is Bento. Bento by a length. Cotton on Flyer from Checkmore. Dr. Livingston, Federal Agent. Bento's finding a bit though in front. The Tasmanian, he's drawn 2 in front of Cotton on Flyer, and Bento will come home for the last. Bento by nearly 2 lengths. Cotton on Flyer second ahead, third Federal Agent. A gap further back in the race then to Dr. Livingston, then Unfettered. Entrepreneurs picked up ground from Melbourne. Checkmore dropped out in the straight. They're followed further back by Arrogant Prince, Diamond Duke, and then Solid Wood Bira, and Boursier is back at the tail with Mountain Rivers.
Winner there, number 7, Bento, 16.30 and 4.90. 11, Cotton on Flyer, 4.50. Third, 10, Federal Agent to pay 3.40.
7 Bento, Super Tab, 11, 10, 3.30. Number 11, Cotton on Flyer to pay $4.70, and 10, Federal Agent, $5.70. Shortly, a Brisbane update. It's coming up to 19 past 4.
Racing in the last event, and gee, there was a perfect line away. Come Spring began well, gets a half length in front from Romden, followed by Souvant Rouge and Crows Before Dawn from Our Best Man, Simric and Certainty. A half Ingenuity, followed by Obsessed, travelling on the inside from In Square, and 2 lengths last of all was Noble Park. Down towards the 1,000-metre mark, and Souvant Rouge, by virtue of the inside, gets 2 lengths in front of Romden second. Third, Crows Before Dawn on the outside, followed by Our Best Man, and a half length away. 2 Come Springs, followed by Certainly, who's travelling on the inside of Simric. 2 further back to Obsessed from Ingenuity, third last. A length and a half away to In Square, second last, and seen the lot of them was Noble Park. 600 out, and racing well clear now was Souvant Rouge. It's raced about 4 lengths in front from Romden. 2 away, third was Our Best Man on the inside, followed by Crows Before Dawn, and a further length and a half away. 2 Come Springs around Certainly, followed by Simric. A long way out of its ground, Obsessed, likewise Ingenuity back with Noble Park, and In Square into the straight. Souvant Rouge has raced about 2 or 3 lengths in front over Romden second. Third, Crows Before Dawn on the outside, followed by Certainly, and also there was Our Best Man, but halfway down the running, and still in front is Souvant Rouge. I don't think they're going to pick them up. Romden is trying hard, and down the outside was Come Spring, but it's Souvant Rouge that's in front, and the jockey Cameron Swan's pinched it. Souvant Rouge races away to win by 3. Souvant Rouge first, Romden second, tight for third. Certainly, or on the outside, Come Springs. Obsessed worked home well from Symbols Noble Park. Crows Before Dawn, In Square. Ingenuity never got hot, and back at the rear of the field was Our Best Man.
Super Tab, 6 Souvant Rouge, 12.20, 3.40. 5 Romden, 1.80. Those for third, 10 Certainly, 4.50, or 11 Come Spring, $3.50.
Certainly at 3.10, or 11 Come Springs at 5.40. Close up also 2 Obsessed.
Reckweight Brisbane, 6-1-17.
Number 6 Souvant Rouge. Well, Cameron Swan knew what he was doing. He opened the field up at about the 800, literally ran them off their legs, and Darren Beeman was the first one to get anxious on Romden. But they weren't going to pick up Souvant Rouge. A nice ride, Cameron Swan. A 4-year-old bay gelding, Flotilla, Tujon Vert, is owned by Mrs. P. Kendall, trained by Max Lees at Broadmeadow and ridden by Cameron Swan. 5 Romden for second. Darren Beeman, a 5-year-old bay gelding, Roman Artist Golden Storm, David Schaefer, Broadmeadow, and we await third. It's 6-5 into Photo.
More there shortly. Daily double approximates at the Gold Coast. 5 took the first leg with 1,154, 238, 334, 4,154, 5 $7.70, 651, 7 Unspeakable, the sub 51, 8 309, 9 out, 10 154, number 11 44, 12 154, and 13 is scratched. Their daily doubles for the meeting at the Gold Coast. They're moving up there for a start. That will be followed by the last in Adelaide, race number 8. 8 Adelaide.
The start of the Belmont Oaks a fortnight ago, and then straddled the outside rail and concussed herself in that incident, but she's made a very good recovery since. Key Target, which won the Oaks, drawn in gate number 6. 2:30 and 1:30 the place. Now, Boardwalk Lady is the last of them to move in, and they're nearly ready here for race 5 of the day. The starters up onto the stand, and now they're set. Waiting for the light. All ready. Stand by now. Boardwalk Lady to settle. Drawn inside of Key Target. They're off. Racing, and near the inside, Fantasy Action fired out very quickly, and coming across also soon after the start, Just Act, Boardwalk Lady and the favourite Key Target. Darby the Dasher, Centrillo, and wider out, Thor's Pleasure is starting to rock across from an outside alley as they join up with the course proper. Centrillo's gone to the lead from Thor's Pleasure. Key Target third, one off the fence, nicely placed from Boardwalk Lady. Darby the Dasher 3 deep in the early stages. Fantasy Action drifting back inside of the grey Yasmin Tudor. Steel Bows on the fence in a length and a half to Just Act. Haraz strikes swiftly, then on Edgecliff, and back last of all is Master Touch, and there's a nice even speed on here as they go by the judge. And the filly Centrillo pilots the field in the Belmont Classic, a length and a half on Thor's Pleasure. Darby the Dasher getting over now, one off the fence around Boardwalk Lady. A length and a half further back, Fantasy Action racing inside of the favourite Key Target. Then came Yasmin Tudor and Steel Bow together. Just Act followed by Strike swiftly over on the inside from Haraz. Master Touch and Don Edgecliff whip the field in. Into the back they run at the 1350, and the pilot is Centrillo, and she's certainly ensuring that the speed's genuine. It's Centrillo by a length and a half to Thor's Pleasure, a similar margin. Boardwalk Lady inside of Darby the Dasher. They've raced about 4 lengths to Key Target, which is now starting to get heeled up by Harvey around Fantasy Action. A length and a half to the grey Yasmin Tudor. On the inside is Steel Bow as they race down to the 1,000 metres mark, and they're about to leave the back in the Classic. Then came Just Act, Strike swiftly, about to get off the fence. Now he finds himself with a bit of room. About 3 lengths on Edgecliff, followed by Haraz and Master Touch, the former New Zealand maiden. Last of all, at the 750, it's Centrillo being pushed along in front, leading Thor's Pleasure. There goes Darby the Dasher moving up 3 deep before the bend. Boardwalk Lady fourth, and now Harvey is starting to cruise up behind them with Key Target as they pack up. They're followed by Fantasy Action, Yasmin Tudor, Steel Bow. Turners at work on Strike swiftly, then Just Act and on Edgecliff. Master Touch and Forget Haraz. Centrillo first around the corner, leading Boardwalk Lady, laying down the gauntlet. A length and a half to Key Target, starting to join in very quickly from Steel Bow. Yasmin Tudor, Strike swiftly coming to the outside. Boardwalk Lady, though, has steamrolled to the lead at the 200 mark. A length and a half to Key Target, coming out after her. Boardwalk Lady kept going. She's going to turn the tables on Key Target. She's coming away, Boardwalk Lady. Master Touch getting home from last along the fence, then Steel Bow, but Boardwalk Lady wins. Boardwalk Lady has turned the tables on them in the Classic. One from Master Touch. Third, it's close, Steel Bow or Key Target. Yasmin Tudor, Strike swiftly, Centrillo, and they were followed by On Edgecliff. Then Just Act, a break to Fantasy Action, Haraz, Darby the Dasher, and Thor's Pleasure has finished tailed off last of all. Boardwalk Lady. Number 8, Boardwalk Lady is the winner. Well, we made the comment earlier this morning on our radio preview that she wasn't really a genuine stayer. Well, I think she's dispelled that today because the speed was on and she simply ran to them and ran past them soon after heads had turned for home. Key Target couldn't match it with her. She had a lovely run behind them. Master Touch has come home well from last, getting right through along the fence to grab second. Key Target may have just scrambled into third place from Steel Bow. Boardwalk Lady, $9.90, $2.40. Master Touch, $15.80. Key Target, number 12, has run third as the photo goes up, $1.40.
All right, Key Target will run third there. Now, Grey Dawn Star Trader, Miss Perfect at Newcastle. And the double 4 and 3, $11.50. Quinella, $20. Exacta, $30.80. And the trifecta, 386, $83.60 on race 8 at Newcastle. $8.40, $1.80 in New South Wales, the winner Boardwalk Lady. $12.60 for a place and $2 neat for Key Target. Paying a little better for the place Master Touch in Super Tab Totes. Now race out at Morphettville Bay.